Hi everyone, today I'm going to explain why I became a frugivore again, and then I will answer your questions, FAQ, after the questions that you asked me on Instagram. So let's start with the reasons why I became frugivore again. I say again because in 2012 I spent 4 months in easy conditions being a frugivore, not seeing anyone or barely seeing anyone. It was summer, it was all good, no worries, no financial pressure, so it was easy conditions. But then I included some cooked food at night and basically did rotifort till last month. So last month I quit B12 for reasons I explained already, and a few weeks later I became a frugivore, because this time I had very good reasons to. It was just one book that made me go over the edge and fall into the wagon of frugivores. So, first, when was it? More than 13 years ago, I knew that humans are frugivores by nature. When you simply look at the compared anatomy of animals, it's obvious that we are frugivores. We are like bonobos. We're like furry bonobos, mostly. So if you haven't seen these tables, I really suggest you see them. And the scientists from 100 years ago, they already knew this, but with modern scientism, the nutritional science is a whole new scam. A scam, yeah. The protein scam and the supplement scam and more. So, recently, it was, when was it? A bit more than a month ago, I read that book from 1910, How to Prolong Life. I made a whole video about it. It's on my channel, you can watch it. And it was another wake-up call. Hey, the fruit is again high in the ranking, and surprisingly the starches and the vegetables, they are not doing so well. And the cereals, the grains, are doing very bad in that ranking. In that ranking of, how do he call them? He calls them earthly matters, earthly deposits. And when I look at the list of molecules that fall into this category, it's basically fluorine and calcium. Anyway, after reading that book, I became a frugivore. It was just a few days after. It was really striking for me. Okay, and then just after that, some people suggested me to read Grain Damage by Doug Graham, and I read it immediately in 24 hours. It was a really great book, very short, from 2005, I think, and I never heard of that book before. I just read his main book, the 80-10-10 diet. I didn't even think to read his other books. I didn't know there were other books. But back in the days, the 80-10-10 diet helped me to be a frugivore, but I didn't stay a frugivore. It was not enough for me, at least. That's just my journey. So I read that book, Grain Damage, and on that day I was already a frugivore. So I just reinforced my new diet. And a few days later I read the book The Mucus-Free Diet by Arnold Ehret, which is an old book, quite famous in the frugivore community. That book is from 1922, very good book. I read it all, very interesting. You know what, I'm going to talk about these 2 books, Grain Damage and The Mucusless Diet, in a future video. So I'm not going in detail about them now. You will see that later in another video. And that book, The Mucusless Diet, also showed the Berg tables, the Berg tables. It looks like the Pral index, something like that. But it's not about the kidneys, it's about the acidity of the stomach. And I should show you these tables. When you look at them, the fruit is again very well doing. and the grains are not doing well, and the only bread that's doing well is not actually bread because it has no yeast. It's a pumpernickel type bread, and you can look at the details if you're interested. So right now I'm very sure I will stay a frugivore. I've been a frugivore for almost a month now. I think it's been 26 days. I'm doing very well, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but I will answer the questions from Instagram first. There will be plenty of Q&A sessions in the future, no worries. So, the questions. What do you eat and how much? You can see my pantry here, I show it regularly. At the moment it's mostly persimmons and bananas. I also eat a lot of grapes, but I eat them immediately. That's why you don't see them much in my pantry, because I shop them and I eat them immediately. Because they're ready to eat, they don't have to ripen. Because persimmons and bananas have to ripen. I also have some plums in there, but it's hard to see. Some dark purple plums, very good. And so I just eat fruit. For me it's quite easy because I've eaten so many fruit meals in the last 15 years, so many. Even at dinner now, I don't crave starch. I see them in another light, you know. So my mind doesn't want starch anymore. I will also make a video about the effects of the frugivore diet on my health. I have a whole list of things I want to cover. I'm just waiting for 20 more days because I want to talk about my period. Is it affected? How? Etc. So be patient, I will make a video about that. And how much I eat? Yesterday I had 30 small bananas and 1 or 2 persimmons with a bit of jam, and that's it. So you can imagine how many calories it is, but I have not counted my calories at all in the last month at all. No, I have not counted my calories in the last few months, plural already. I just don't care, I eat till I'm satiated, and I have to say that now the hunger is much smaller. Have you noticed that if you do the same thing? Smaller appetite. Also, I don't eat salt at all. I haven't touched salt. So, salt is a stimulant, as you know. And now I see starches as a stimulant in some way. So, how much I eat? Maybe, I don't know, something between 2,000 and 2,500 calories per day, I guess. I have not counted again. I don't care. And as for my workouts, I barely do anything. I am so lazy and I'm losing weight. I've lost more than 3 kilos already just by eating fruits, not eating any salt, not eating starches. It's really easy. I knew it, but now I have I ticked finally. I was waiting for that moment for years and years and years. It didn't come, but suddenly, thanks to that first book, I managed to do it, and it's very easy for me now after that long transition. So for you, it could take a long time too, I don't know. Question, what is your budget and do you have cravings? My budget, each week I spend about, I don't know, 70 to 100 euro on fruit. I have not counted with precision, but I'm pretty sure I have not gone over 100 euro per week. And also what I'm saying is maybe not useful to you because in the area that you're living in, the prices must be different and you have another offer of fruit. Not everything is available here for me than for you. So I can share what I'm doing, but it's not always useful to you because you have to go to some shops, find good offers, good quality. I personally don't buy organic, I just buy conventional fruit. I think organic is not much better because there are pesticides involved too. They're just called natural, but you know that when the industry says natural, they are fooling us again. So I buy conventional. I rarely buy anything organic unless organic is the only aisle where I can find a specific product. I shop at Lidl most of the time, Sometimes I also go to other shops, but I try to save as much money as I can, and I'm happy with the black grapes I found at Lidl, and persimmons, and pomegranates, and cheap bananas, and I also still buy their juices that are pasteurized. I'm not scared by pasteurization. No, I don't believe in vitamins and all that stuff. What I care about is when I buy a juice, I don't want any added acids. I don't want citric acid. I don't want ascorbic acid. This kind of thing. No supplements means no fishy ingredient. And the best way to do it is to get pure fruit that's fresh. And when you take a juice from the shop or a smoothie from the shop, yes, there's always a risk of them adding something to that mixture. Yeah, who knows? But you know, in that world, it's hard to be perfect. I wish I could be a fruitarian that gets only pesticide-free fruit grown till full maturity on a tree and live in the tropics and take as much sun as I want. But it's not the case. I live in a cold country. 6 months of the year are cold. It sucks. And I do what I can with the fruit that's available to me, and so can you. Do I have cravings? No, I said I have no cravings. I see my husband eating his cooked food and I don't want it anymore. It's wonderful. I was waiting for that moment for so long. So no craving. But again, I have done a long transition. I've read the books, and maybe this can help you. Read these books. Okay, next question. Can you share some cooked vegetables you incorporate? And then there's another part of the question. I have been all raw since May. Is cooked pumpkin okay to add in my salad, or even a sweet potato? That's up to you. If you feel that it's okay for you now, maybe you still need a transition, maybe you still have cravings, yeah, maybe why not? It's a good option. Look, pumpkin or sweet potato, it's not bread. It's not fried food, so go for it if it's good for you, if you feel like you need it. So in that month, what I had is fresh fruit, of course. I said just a few pasteurized juices, maybe 3 bottles in 25 days. You know? I had some cooked squashers, baked or boiled, just a few times, but I didn't want to miss the pumpkin season, but I don't know, it's not that great. I prefer fruit now, it's amazing. So pumpkin is a fruit, all squashes are fruits, but well, there's some starch in pumpkin, so maybe that's why it's not appealing to me anymore. Anyway, I don't have pumpkin anymore now, I stopped. I tried, but I stopped. I have not had any sweet potato, but if you need it, there's no shame, okay? I'm here humbly telling my experience of a long transition, and I really want to talk about it with you guys. Okay, did I answer? Cooked vegetables. So I have incorporated some cooked vegetables which are technically fruit, so no big deal. I'm still a frugivore because I eat fruit, and sometimes having some cooked fruit, it's okay. Unless you are a super purist frugivore, fruitarian. For example, applesauce, yeah, that's okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I still incorporate a bit of jam because I made them myself. So, for example, some purple peach, special flat peach. I made some jam out of it 2 months ago. So I'm still eating that, adding that in the smoothie to add some color. Because I have to say, the bananas, they're not as good as what I remember from more than 10 years ago. They're pretty bland, so when I make a smoothie, I add some other fruit in it because, I don't know, the plain banana is usually not appealing to me, especially if I eat a lot of bananas in a short amount of time. So I need to add some jam or some frozen berries that I shop on the same day because I don't have a fridge or a freezer anymore. So I finish all my bag of frozen berries in the same day. And I like to add some color to my smoothies. It really works for me. Okay, next question. Can you show us the logistics? How often you shop, how much you have in a meal, how you deal with bad fruit, how much easier meals are, etc. Okay, one thing at a time. Showing the logistics, whoa, it would require a whole vlog of detailed stuff. I don't know if I would do that, because what I do here, some things would be useful for you and some others, no. For example, I can tell you that I use a trolley. I carry my trolley, I pull my trolley till the shop and I come back. That's 2 kilometers total. So my max volume of food that I can buy is the trolley. It's a big trolley, so it's all right. Well, I don't have a car, and now the bike I have doesn't have saddlebags or pannier bags. And I don't like to carry food in a backpack when I ride my bike because it hurts my back. So I just take the trolley or a small backpack and I buy my food maybe 3 times a week, sometimes 4. It depends. When it rains, I stay at home. I work at home. Okay, so how much I have in a meal? I already said that. Maybe 10 small bananas or 6 big bananas. And the same amount of volume for other fruit. When I eat grapes, I eat the whole box. And I eat maybe 3 times per day, sometimes 5. But at the moment, I'm not very hungry, I'm not moving very much, so 3 meals a day, it fits me at the moment. And how I deal with bad fruit? Well, it depends. Let's say the fruit is damaged and starting to rot. Well, some fruit gets disgusting in the whole pulp, so I throw it in the compost bin. But let's say it's a peach that's slightly damaged. I cut off the bad part and I eat it immediately, simply. Or sometimes the fruit is not rotten, but it just tastes bad, it doesn't ripen. Well, in that case, I let it ripen as much as possible. But at some point, there can be bad surprises, like it can become oxidized or gray or just stay hard, or just stay hard inside and just a thin layer of soft fruit. I try one and no, it's not good. I throw it in the compost bin, sadly. Well, a good tip would be to buy only ripe fruit, except for the bananas and persimmons, which need a lot of ripening, and it won't happen in the shop because it will be damaged in the shop by then. Yeah, bad fruits. Yeah, it's a pity, but I wouldn't force myself to eat some very bad fruit. And how much easier meals are. Yeah, it's easier. For me, it makes my life easier. But for some people, when they see that, they say, oh, it would make my life so complicated. Well, for these people, a frugivore diet is not appropriate for them. Of course, they won't be interested. But for some people like us, we like simple things. I like to have very simple meals. It digests well. It digests well. And then there's just rinsing to do. You take your bowl to the sink and then you rinse it. You rub it with the hands. It's clean. This is so clean, so easy. Preparing a meal of fruit is very short, because when most people prepare their food, it takes so long. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or sometimes hours. I don't miss that at all. I was never interested in complex cooking, spending so much time in the kitchen. Now, the longest time I spend in the kitchen is maybe for juicing, but I don't juice every day. Things I juice could include pomegranates or pineapple. I used to juice carrots before, but now I don't care about carrots. Sometimes I juice a bit of grapes with something else because it adds a really nice taste. Why not? I don't juice lemons. I don't touch lemons at all. It's too acidic for me, in my opinion. Sometimes I juice oranges, but I struggle with oranges now. The only oranges that I really like is the blood oranges, because they taste really good and they are less acidic. So that's it. I don't even make fruit salads. I just chop my fruit after I peel them, etc. And I eat it with a fork or a spoon, and that's it. Simple. Or when I make a smoothie, I just blend, and sometimes I drink from the jug. Sometimes I pour it in a big bowl and eat it with a spoon, or just, like a soup. It's so easy. So when you think fruit meals are easy, I think you're ready to have a lot of fruit meals, or even maybe be a frugivore or a fruitarian. So I would consider myself as a fruitarian. Actually, I'm doing fruitarian, but technically I'm a frugivore too. So just small nuances. Did I eat any vegetable that's not a fruit? Yeah, I've eaten just small parts of the leeks that grow on my balcony, just a few grams, that's all. Sometimes frugivores say that if you cannot make a whole meal in a raw state of something, then it's not food. For example, could you eat a whole bowl of raw garlic? No, you wouldn't be able to stomach it. Could you have a whole meal of pepper? Black pepper? It would be so strong. I don't think you could. But a whole meal of mangoes? Yeah. Yeah, no problem if they are ripe. Okay, next question. Have you noticed an improvement in your digestion and your health generally? I will answer this question specifically in the dedicated video about the effect of the frugivore diet on my health. But just to give a quick answer, my digestion is almost the same, because before, in the rotilivore, I had already plenty of fiber, plenty of water, so digestion is feeling the same. It's just that it's even easier to digest only fruit and no starches at all. So I have a bit more energy, and my health, it was very good before, but now it's even better. Okay, no spoiler here. And that's it. See you soon in the next video.